Hey, I'm Karai. Like some Viktor content, some middling content? Consider subscribing, maybe even hitting that like button. It'll help me up a lot. And if you do, you'll get blue buff. Viktor Challenger. The only rule, I can only play Viktor. Unless it's banned, then we're playing Orianna. No Viktor jungle, no Viktor support, maybe Viktor Bali, and that's about it. Hello friends, welcome back to the Viktor 2 Challenger series gameplay. And today we will be playing up against Zed. I had a couple games today, but I think two of my games earlier, I had win traders and I was on the unfortunate end of the stick. So this is the third game of the day. I'm feeling pretty okay. For runes, I am running first strike this game, mainly because I felt like the enemy team doesn't have any, champions that can stick onto me. I went for the stopwatch for obvious reasons. Biscuits, because I'm afraid that Zed might kill me, so Biscuits will help a bit. And I just like Cosmic Insight because it helps me on my ward cooldown, and also it gives my Ludens like a second off. It's kind of it's a bit, but it helps. So going straight into the lane, I figured that this is probably a lane that I can kind of slow push in. I think something funny happens here, which I really didn't expect, but honestly at this point I should expect anything out of the ordinary. Blitzcrank walks up here. I try to not dodge it. I try to dodge it because I expect that he will shoot it upwards, but then he actually shot it where I walk back. So I probably could have played that slightly better. And it's at this point where I'm like, could he do it again? And I'm like, yeah, he could do it again because there's no repercussions. And lo and behold, look at him. Look at it. Like, oh, wow, you really achieve a lot there, buddy. Yeah, like, you really, geez, man. I feel so threatened. I lose a couple of CS there, but honestly, it's a good thing that he did that, because now I'm able to just get EXP leads from him doing that. So even though I lose pressure, I lose health, realistically, if I look at it, the grand scheme of things, I actually have a bigger EXP lead. I just need to not die. As long as Zed doesn't kill me in lane, his roam was really, really bad. But forget about that, right? Like against Zed, the thing you want to really worry about is definitely his shadows. It's hard to space against his shadow because it has such a long range. I think like going bone plating in this matchup is also not bad, but I think going first strike with Biscuits and stopwatch on its own is enough to survive the lane. Also, by the way, like since Blitzcrank roamed to mid, I'd expect my bot lane to not die, but shit happens. But anyways, yes, bone plating is not too bad. You can see that for this matchup, my main goal is just trying to not die, right? Like even though Blitzcrank does that shenanigan, we have our mental strong. We don't let it tilt us. This happens a lot if you play Viktor. You ideally just want to make sure that you don't trade too much health, too much unnecessary health. I think Zed went Conqueror this game. I'm not sure. I think he went Conqueror with Inspiration. So he doesn't have Taste of Blood, which means that if I just slowly poke him out, I can kind of even out the odds. I have run out of pots, but you can see that like right here, like I'm losing minions. But again, the main goal, even though we're losing minions, is not to die, right? So we're trying to just even out, like if he's walking up like this, we want to poke him, and hit our lasers, but we want to try our best to farm as well. He's doing these little like poke shots. Tresh comes to the rescue, unfortunately. But like let's imagine if Tresh actually didn't come here, what should we do? Again, we have Biscuits, we have Exhaust. We're just trying to not die, and hopefully Zed gets tired of us and goes for a recall. Alternatively, we can just wait until 6, out the wave, and then try to base on a cannon wave. Obviously, after Zed dies here, I need help pushing in the wave. I'm not sure if I actually needed help, because looking back, I could probably base because the cannon was there, so it would push to my side. But I think probably pushing is the most consistent way to make sure that I don't mess up my wave. Heading back in the lane, I didn't really base off a cannon wave. That's why when Zed got back to his lane, it was a normal wave, so he could push it fast. That's why I lost probably like a couple of minion goal. But it's all good as long as we got the EXP. Remember, like when playing Viktor, you want to make sure to get as much EXP as you can so you can hit your level 11 and level 16 fastest, right? You can see I'm not trying to hard shove this cannon wave because as Viktor. Well, in general, if you can't shove it fast enough, especially if it's a cannon, you want to slow stack it, so when you can push it, it's going to become a really big wave. So notice this really big wave. I can shove it in and then look for a roam timing, right? I'm not sure why I actually backed off there. I should have actually been willingly taking the W in my face. But I think thinking about it now, maybe it's probably best that he doesn't tin the wave and let it crash into his turret, so that I have a perfect roam timing right here. Right here, I see bot lane is continuously fighting. I have a pretty good angle. Both my Thresh and my Zac can, land CCs to actually allow me to follow up for a kill. I believe Caitlyn was actually trying to get an execute here, not let me have the kill. Because obviously, if you're the Caitlyn, you really want to execute to tanks better than something like a Viktor, because you don't want Viktor to get stacks, you don't want Viktor to get leads so that he scales faster. So now that we got the Caitlyn kill here, we're just going back to mid here. I was actually worried that Zed might actually hide in one of these bushes, but because he's on a vision, I'm safe to just walk back like this. But imagine if Zed is actually hiding in a bush, I would have to take the safer route here. Here we try to do something cheeky, but I figured it's probably impossible since it's a Zed. He has his shadow, he has his ult. It's really hard to catch him. So we're back to farming. I feel like at this point people would probably think, well, are you just playing the farming simulator as Viktor? And say, yes, you want to play the farming simulator as Viktor. Here Thresh tries to go for an engage, Zed tries to retaliate. We do get the kill here. Zac actually lands a really good knockup and an ult as well, scoring the Zed kill. I think this kill is worth it because we push the whole wave in, we deny Zed a whole cannon wave, and overall support def or mid def, it's always going to be worth it here. So right now we just want to base, get a good item, and hopefully I think we're going Ludens this game because they have no tanks and they're all squishies. You can see later on that we can just one tap anyone in our team. Right here, my team is pinging to do Dragon, but I feel like this Dragon, we have Zac and we have Viktor. I feel like Zac is more of a scaling champion. I acknowledge that it is happening, but I choose to not go until oh hey, it's okay, it's close enough, and the main wave hasn't hit yet, so I decide, okay, let's see what happens here. Zed already ulted, so I'm in no threat. And I feel like Nidalee isn't as strong. I feel like Nidalee is one of those champions that unless you snowball, you're not really that afraid. Honestly, this play here, I probably should have just left, but I saw the Blitzcrank and I got a bit greedy, so we went in, get the kill. It's all worth it though, because ultimately, trading kills with Viktor is not too bad, because if you trade kills, meaning you'll have your upgrades faster, and the faster you can get your upgrade, the better. The only downside about this play is that they do have Herald, so they chunk my mid turret pretty low. I believe Zac does get a kill here. The reason why it's bad that they chunk my mid turret to a low health percentage is mainly because when mid turret falls, it's really hard for your team to scale. Mainly because the mid turret acts as some of like a vision catalyst, where if your mid turret is still up, it's hard for the enemy to push in. But if your mid turret is down, then the enemy can just push in, and you can't really walk up to farm safely. Pretty common. Here, Blitz had the same idea as Thresh. We wanted to engage. I tried to click on the lantern, but I couldn't do it. But I think it's probably better that I didn't click on the lantern because Caitlyn has traps down. So we just flash out and we let our Zac take the kill here. Here I see Zed. I was feeling really spicy on trying to get the kill here, but I think he actually played it super well in dodging both my Q and my E, or my E and my Q. Here I tried to wiggle out of his Q, and again, this one is my bad because I missed my I missed my E. Had I hit my E, I probably could have gotten the kill. So, but overall, I really think I played okay, but I think the Zed played pretty well there. So kudos to him. But overall, we get 2 kills for 1 kill. I think I probably should have Zhonya's. I probably should have just Zhonya's his ult and then exhaust later. That would probably be good. Here, Deja Vu, we see another play. This time, I Zhonya's first, because he can't deal damage to me. And then I will try to kite them out. I still have flash, so I can definitely just Q, get my moon speed, and then flash out to walk to safety. A little bad on the camera control here, but my team is here for the rescue. Beautiful hook from my Thresh here, and then we just clean up the kill. At this point, Caitlyn is just pretty weak because she's just been going to every fight, and it's a mid game, and Caitlyn is just really weak in the mid game. Here we have an upcoming fight, and Thresh is honestly, this game Thresh is feeling really bold. At first I was really skeptical because he's been mid too much to take my EXP, But overall, he's been doing pretty well. You can see that because of him, I am at a very good score here. 4, 2, and 9. And I think 3 items at like, well, I hit 3 items at like 24 minutes. Near 4 items at around 28 minutes. And definitely like full items at 30 minutes. You can see this game, I even opted for the Magi's because I was just feeling that confident about this game. We scan here to see if Zed is still holding in the bush. After Zed is gone or Zed is not in the bush, we go in for the full engage. Zed is trying to kill me from the wall, but I know he already outdid my misfortune. And here, I'm just gonna let it play out. Zed is trying to kill me, but I've gravity field. We dodge the spear here. Caitlyn tries to go on me. Zed has no energy, so I know I'm safe to go in for the kill. Flash in. E on the Nilly. Nilly is pretty weak, and I have Ocean Soul, so I'm not too afraid. We dodge the trap and dodge the net here. Here, we're just BMing here because, you know, Caitlyn definitely can't escape. I have my Q. She retaliates, but it's definitely pointless because I'm at this point I'm just way too strong here, and we're at a full stacks. So not much on the Z part, but definitely we just have to watch out for the shadow and not die in lane, as with most assassins. Hope you guys are able to learn something here. You know, pick up something. Let me know in the comments if you want to know something else. I'd be more than happy to help you guys, and I'll definitely see you in the next video. Thank you.